Hey you guys, and welcome to my study with me for the May half-term holiday. So I'm doing my GCSEs right now. I think I've done 15 exams so far or something like that, but I've still got 9 to go after half-term. So I'm just doing a revision day. I think today I ended up doing 6 hours, so it's quite a good day. But I'm not really revising as much as I was doing my last study with me, as I'm not doing as many big long study days just because I'm so worn out. I only have 9 exams left. I can't be bothered, but anyway, right now I'm just doing some history revision on the Cold War basically, or superpower relations I think it's called, so I'm just doing that on Quizlet right now. Then I'm doing some Greek literature learning on Odyssey book 6. So if you watched my old study with me's from a few weeks ago, you'll know that constantly I was just doing Greek and Latin literature, but I have had 5 out of 6 of my Grattan exams. I only have 1 left on this Odyssey book 6, so you can imagine I am thrilled to be getting this literature out of the way with. So I'm just trying to learn the annotations for my Greek literature, and then on Wednesday I shall do my last Greek literature exam and I shall be done with Grattan literature forever. I was going to take Latin next year, but I decided not to, so unless I change my mind, this should be my last piece of classical literature, so I'm just trying to get through it and learn my annotations. After that, I did some more history, so I have 4 topics for my history exams. I have Germany, Cold War, Russia and China, and so I'm just doing the China part of my course right now, and as I said before, I love China and Chinese history, so I wouldn't say I'm excited for the China exam obviously, but it's probably the one I'm most comfortable with, just because I know most of it anyway in the back of my head, most of the key concepts and things. But anyway, I'm just going over obviously the specifics. There's obviously a lot of names to learn, and it's the longest course that I do. It's from 1911 to 1989, so it's quite long, there's quite a lot to cover, but as I said, I enjoy it. Chemistry is my favourite science, so I'm happy that I'm doing chemistry. But anyway, yeah, I'm not too stressed over sciences because I just have paper 2s for sciences after half term, and I've already done paper 1 in each science, so I basically already revised them. So what I'm just doing for each science over half term is I'm just doing loads of past papers for paper 2s, and if there's any weaknesses that I find in the past papers, I'm obviously just going to go over them and make sure that everything's covered. But as I said, I'm not too stressed for sciences because I've already done 1 paper and all the papers went quite well, so I'm not too stressed. Then I took a break, but that's pretty hard to do in my room because it's just such a mess everywhere, as you can see. But I just sat on my bed on the 2 centimeters that aren't covered by books. Then for some Germany history revision, so I'm not joking when I say literally all my revision this half term is just history. Germany is paper 1 along with superpower relations, so I'm kind of focusing on those. But again, I'm just using the Quizlet, I'm going through, learning all the key information. I have 3 or 4 Quizlet sets for each topic, and then on top of that I have a Quizlet set for each with facts and stuff. So I'm just working my way through those, and once I've learned those, I'm just going to do past papers, past questions, essay plans and all that, just to really make sure I'm comfortable with all the topics and everything. After history, surprise surprise, it's back to the Greek literature. The Greek literature I'm studying after half term is the Odyssey, so it's quite an interesting piece of literature. I think they say it's the father of all modern literature or something like that. I don't know, I'm just studying I think it's 150 lines of it, I think maybe a bit under that, and it's Odyssey book 6. It's to do with Nausicaa, if anybody even knows what on earth I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been quite interesting to study, as have all my literatures. But I think overall for all my GCSEs I've had 8 set texts, and this is the last one, so I'm kind of all done with all my set texts. I'm just the last hurdle, the last set text to get through. Finally, I treated myself to lunch. I had some chicken soup. I don't know why I focused on the glass of water, but then I also had a chia seed pudding, which probably looks really unappealing, but they're really nice. They look really bad, but they're really, really good. It's basically chia seeds with milk, and it gets all solid and stuff. Then after that, I went outside to study some further maths because, going outside is fun. It makes your revision a bit more bearable. Then it was back inside for some superpower relations again. It may look so tedious what I'm doing, and to be honest, it is really tedious what I'm doing for Quizlet, But once I've learned these answers word for word, that's pretty much my revision done. I don't really do that much stuff other than, as I've said, do practice essays. So it's actually really effective. It takes a lot of time, but in terms of the gain from it, I find it really effective. I don't know. I know it doesn't work for some people. I've spoken to people who've tried it and they've just hated it. But for me, it's great. And so that's why, as you can see, I'm just doing it for every topic. Although it is very, 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 very dull. But, I mean, if you have a more exciting way of revising history, please let me know. I would love to hear it, because my ways are pretty dull. Then I did a bit of Russia revision. So Russia is the topic for history that I'm least worried about. It's the topic that everyone's least worried about because it's mainly source-based, the paper. It's mainly just testing how you can use sources. But obviously you need to know the background info of the topic in order to interpret the sources. So I'm just learning the key stuff for basically the 15-mark essay we had to do at the end, where we had to evaluate key factors. So I'm just looking at every big event in the Russia course and evaluating the key factors of them. And I've actually made a video on a few different tips and tricks for how I revise history GCSE. A few of the things are like the things I mentioned in the video. I've also got some tips on how to learn dates and facts and things that I'm not doing right now in this video. So I'll leave that in the description below if you want to take a look at that. Then after my big chunk of history, I did some physics because, you know, physics is just like chemistry in terms of I just have paper 2 left, and there's a few extra things that are on paper 2 that weren't on paper 1, but I covered most of them anyway in my revision, so I'm not too bothered. So again, I did a past paper, but this time on my iPad, and I was just, you know, finding the areas where I was weakest and trying to improve on them. So nothing huge, nothing, you know, too controversial, but, you know, just a physics past paper. And I ate dinner outside today because, you know, again, it's a bit less bleak than sitting inside all day, and I ate my ultimate comfort food, which is tomato pasta. My friends make fun of me because I literally always eat tomato pasta, but it's so good as comfort food, and I obviously watched some Netflix to go with it. And then I was back to some China revision, because China is just, I mean, it's a big country. I was about to say China's so big, yeah, everyone knows that China's huge, but the China course is also huge, so I'm just trying to get it all out the way with and get this history exam done. So again, I did some more China on Quizlet. To finish my day off, I watched a YouTube video, or a few YouTube videos on China, which I know is the most passive way of learning and it's rubbish, but I was so exhausted I thought I'd treat myself. That was my day. So that was my 6-hour revision day. Hopefully that helped you a bit, or, you know, it was just interesting to see or whatever. But as always, if you have any comments, suggestions, queries, whatever, please feel free to leave them down in the description below, because I love reading them and answering any questions or reading any suggestions, whatever. That's all great. But as always, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.